Hey, what's up guys? John here. You guys are witnessing probably the best day of my life. Owning a private plane purchased by YouTube. Can you imagine this? Like, I personally can't. I come from really humble beginnings. A lot of people say that, but I really do. I mean, when I was 12, 13 years old, my parents got divorced, and I experienced going from, everything being good to everything being really bad. Going from a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in the suburbs, good lifestyle, and then parents got divorced, and I moved in with my dad in a boarded up house in Blackwood, New Jersey, right near Camden. It's a real tough neighborhood, and no heat, no electrical, nothing. We lived like that for a full year. And so when you go from things being good to things going bad, it really changes your perspective about the world and how things truly work. And so growing up, I was used to kind of grinding and hustling. All these YouTube videos that I film, for example, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I finish these videos because I have a 14-month-old son. So I spend some of the days with him, and then at night I film videos. But now, looking at how things have just transpired, it's absolutely crazy. When I got into real estate at like 22, 23 years old, I got a tiny little apartment, and a little bit later, I had an apartment with my wife for $800 a month. This place is about 300 square feet. I'll show you some pictures. This is me assembling a table from IKEA for my wife so she could study to take classes at Los Angeles Community College to become a nurse. And here's a picture of what I got her for a birthday one year. It was like $70, a little piece of chocolate that said beautiful on it and some really inexpensive clothing. And because it's all I could afford, we were just hustling really hard to try to save up money to eventually be able to buy something in LA because it's just so expensive. But then you go from that to now what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to give you this full tour of this plane, show you some video footage. It's absolutely incredible. So please smash that like button. It does so much for the YouTube algorithm, but most importantly, it just shows people what's possible if you really just put the work in and really just grind. So please smash that like button. Let's begin. So here is the plane right here. We just took her out last week, flew out over Santa Monica, went straight up to Malibu, took my son. It was just absolutely incredible. But one thing I'm gonna be sure that I don't teach my son, that it seems like a lot of people today believe, is that people get rich quick. Anybody that most likely that has money has started something good and grew that to something great. And over time, they started making more and more money. They invested well, and they always spent a lot less than they made. And it shows because they made smart investments over time to grow true wealth. People don't get rich day trading like they say on social media. It just doesn't happen like that. So when we go on this plane, and as I raise my son, I'm going to raise him with the right moral compass and the right view on money and success. This YouTube channel, I've been working on nonstop for a year, for 1 full year. And looking at the growth of this channel go from, a couple hundred views to a couple 100,000 views to even a couple million views on a single video, it just shows how compounding things truly are. Good things compound and it just grows. So this is what really made the whole private jet thing happen. This wasn't something that I just started a year ago. I've been working in real estate and business for 12, 13 years. So this is nothing that just started a year ago. So I just want to lay this out. I don't want this to seem like I'm bragging by any means, saying that I have a private jet. I know a lot of people will show their plane and really kind of rub it in your face. That's not my style. I will never, ever be like that. So with that being said, let's kind of dive into the details of this plane, why I think a plane is so key, especially in this new normal that we live in. It's incredible. I think honestly a private plane is not that big of a deal anymore, or at least it won't be, because travel is going to get so difficult with the new passports. They're going to likely push on all of us. It's going to be just a pain going to airports. And there's alternatives. If you have a good source of income and you're a really good investor, you'll be able to find ways around all the upcoming chaos. So here's how we selected this private plane. Once my videos on YouTube started hitting 200,000 views, 300,000 views, I had probably about 10 days where I had one hot streak where every video hit 300,000 views. That is insane. At that point, that's when I got reached out from YouTube and I started getting special treatment. And this treatment has really expedited my growth. The problems that I'm having right now with putting out content is I can only do it a few days a week. And so as I started speaking with the support representative, started realizing I could put out a lot more content. I could put out a video every single day, and started talking about my business plan with them. And this is basically what we came up with. So my wife is pregnant, as many of you know. And so with that being said, we are expecting in October. We have a 14-month-old now, and I have family in New Jersey. So we were going to move to New Jersey and potentially, obviously we're going to get family help with the babies there, which is great, but we were thinking about investing in New Jersey. But I really want to be in Florida. I think DeSantis, what he's doing, he's our last chance to keep America on track. And so I really want to end up in Florida, but I don't want to deal with flying, in the commercial airports, dealing with the whole new passport, dealing with all that chaos. I think it's just going to be kind of crazy times ahead, in my personal opinion. So looking at these private planes, started talking with YouTube and started realizing that it's actually not that expensive. $250,000, $300,000, which a lot of people spend on a luxury car, maybe less than that, but you get the general idea. To travel back and forth, I can make a ton of content. I can also live in Florida and realize the best of both worlds. So YouTube saw the benefit in this, and this is how this whole situation transpired. Bought this plane, and my game plan is the actual trek from Tampa, which is where I want to be, to Philadelphia, which is the closest nearby airport, is about 1,087 miles. This Cirrus plane can go about 1,150 to 1,200 miles, depending on how many people we actually put in the plane. So this is the perfect situation where we don't have to stop and refuel. So we picked this plane up in Santa Monica about a week and a half ago. And here we are. Now we own this private plane, and I'm in the process now of getting my pilot's license. I'm going to have my pilot's license in probably the next 4 months. So in about 4 months, you're going to start seeing a ton of content around me, flying around the country, meeting up with people, doing real estate deals everywhere up and down the East Coast. I cannot believe this. This is absolutely crazy that now I get to go from living in a boarded up little house in New Jersey with no heat and electricity, nothing, going to a pretty tough school, and now I own a private plane, and it's just nuts. I can't personally, it doesn't feel real to me that I own a private plane. And the reason it doesn't feel real is because it's not real, and it's April Fool's, and YouTube did not buy me a plane. But what's interesting is that I've made about $100,000 on YouTube so far the last 12 months, which is the cost of a tiny plane. But this plane would be like flying in a tin can, and there's no way I'm going to put my family in that type of situation. All the pictures that I showed you are pictures of us taking a tour of a plane in Santa Monica, but my wife, she almost vomited. She hated the plane because it was so bumpy, and she said there's no way she's ever getting in a plane like that ever again. And so because of that, I really need to up my game if I have any intentions of getting a private plane, because a decent plane is probably $3 to $5 million, and the maintenance every single year is probably $300-400 grand at least. And fuel costs under Biden's going through the roof. You need to absolutely crush it. You really need to be able to just bring in a lot of money to be able to afford a private plane. But who knows where 2020 and 2021, 2022, all this whole era is taking us. But I personally think that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build a lot of wealth. We see what's happening in the world right now. We see industries changing, money changing hands. This is the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. And if we all make smart moves, maybe one day we'll own a plane like this. Please smash that like button, drop your comments below. And I'm really thinking about posting a lot more on YouTube, possibly every single day, but a very good video every single day, not fluff. Right now I'm posting 3 days a week. If you want me to post every single day with high value information, drop in the comments below. Also, please smash that like button, help me share this video, and consider subscribing for more content based on personal finance, real estate, business, and of course, money. And also, if you're thinking about getting started on YouTube, maybe make some extra money or build out some type of ecosystem or structure around supplying value to your audience base or future audience base, watch my free live training where I teach you a lot about YouTube. It's in the description below. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.